Live from New Delhi, you're watching DD India Newshour, India's voice to the world. I'm Preeti Kaur. Coming up in the next 1 hour, US President Donald Trump invites investors to make products in America, addresses World Economic Forum, says new businesses will have lowest tax regime in the US.
My message to every business in the world is very simple. Come make your product in America, and we will give you among the lowest taxes of any nation on earth.
US federal court temporarily blocks presidential order restricting birthright citizenship. Trump says will appeal the ruling. US Secretary of State Marco Rubio assures US commitment to NATO in a call with its chief Mark Rutte. He also discusses the importance of ending Russia-Ukraine conflict. Indonesian President Prabowo Subianto arrives in New Delhi on his first state visit to India to grace the Republic Day celebrations as the chief guest. And in sports, world number 7 Novak Djokovic to take on Alexander Zverev in Australia Open semi-finals. Sinner to face America's Ben Shelton in the other semi-final. US President Donald Trump delivered the first international speech of his second term, appearing via live stream before the World Economic Forum in Davos, Switzerland. Laying out a vision for American economic prosperity, Trump promised global elites lower taxes if they bring manufacturing to the US and threatened to impose tariffs if they don't. He also assured incentivizing companies to facilitate business there. He thus laid out a carrot and stick approach for private investment in the US to strengthen the economy.
My message to every business in the world is very simple. Come make your product in America, and we will give you among the lowest taxes of any nation on earth. We're bringing them down very substantially, even from the original Trump tax cuts. But if you don't make your product in America, which is your prerogative, then very simply you will have to pay a tariff, differing amounts, but a tariff which will direct hundreds of billions of dollars and even trillions of dollars into our treasury to strengthen our economy and pay down debt.
Amidst Trump's tariff row, the World Trade Organization chief has said that the trade wars would have catastrophic consequences for global growth. At the World Economic Forum session on trade, WTO chief spoke and urged states to refrain from retaliation.
If we have tit-for-tat retaliation, whether it's 25%, tariff 60%, and we go to where we were in the 1930s, we're going to see double-digit global GDP losses. Double-digit. That's catastrophic. Everyone will pay. Everyone. And the poor countries will pay even more.
WTO Director General starts her second term as the head of the global trade watchdog this year, at a time when Trump's tariff threats have raised the spectre of trade wars. To get us more on that, our correspondent Amit Mukherjee is joining us from Delhi. Amit, good morning. Now, we've just given a broad outline to our viewers of the carrot and stick policy by Donald Trump. Now, in his run-up to make America great again, what consequences of the trade war will be witnessed by the world?
Well, Preeti, good morning. In fact, as pointed out by many of the delegates who have been who are in Davos right now, that it would have, catastrophic ramifications. In fact, if Donald Trump right now wants everything to be manufactured in USA, which means that this would require a lot of investment. People, the companies, corporates which are not manufacturing in the US right now, they don't have facilities. To set up manufacturing facilities, you have to invest a lot of money. So in that case, the cost of production would also go up. And then again, it would again be a loss-wise sort of a situation for all those companies, because either they have to pay a huge tariff or they have to bear the brunt of ramping up their productions in the US soil. Now, it's quite interesting as to how Donald Trump is putting out all his thoughts and, plans going ahead, for the US economy, because US primarily has been a consumption economy. I mean, where it has primarily been importing a lot of products from across the globe. Now, again, if you look at Donald Trump's statement, he has been very, very worried about the deficits, the trade deficits, which America is now, suffering, if I put it out like that, because he pointed out that Europe is not importing from us, and US's imports have gone up significantly. So obviously there is a deficit between the imports from other countries, especially Canada and European Union, and the kind of stuff which are getting exported from US. So US now wants to strengthen its economy from the point of view of Donald Trump by coming up as a manufacturing hub, which may not be feasible for a lot of corporate houses across the globe, because they have their economies of scale, and they also have to kind of plan out their production units depending on the global requirements of their products across various pockets of the globe. So it's quite not clear. Also, the kind of threats and warnings he has been issuing to the BRICS countries, because again, BRICS, countries like India, China, they have been providing a lot of stuff, exporting a lot of stuff to US. Again, if you put that kind of restrictions on the context of looking out for an alternate currency, then again it may not make it doesn't really make sense at all.
All right, Amit, for the benefit of our viewers, very briefly, I would want you to explain to them what is the vision of Donald Trump when we talk of his attempt to make America great again. This is the carrot and stick policy which he has just talked about at the WTO. But then eventually when things pan out, how far will it have a bearing? What is it that Donald Trump is looking for America at the moment?
Well, Preeti, as of now, Donald Trump is saying all those things which the voters of America would like to listen, because, those were commitments he had made. There were certain commitments that he had made before the elections in the US. And right now, he's only making those statements which sound good to the ears of the Americans. For instance, that we want to make America great again. We want to make American economy very, very strong. We want to get as many jobs as possible for Americans. America wants to be, at the helm of all affairs as far as the global trade is concerned. So, I mean, which is why he's giving out all these doles, which he's promising to corporates that come and make in the US, and we're going to give you the least tax options and benefits. So, I mean, as of now, it's very, very unclear. He's just making those political statements right now, which would sound good to the ears of the Americans. And it will take, because a lot of people are now all the economics across the globe, they are not very, very sure as to what all his policies, whether it's his statements on oil, ramping up oil production and bringing down oil prices, whether it's kind of making America a manufacturing hub, all these policies, how it's going to play out, it's not very, very clear. And people are looking at, a lot of uncertain times going ahead.
All right, Amit, we'll leave it here. Thank you so much for joining in with those details. At Davos, Trump also pointed a finger at another target, that is oil prices. He said that he will ask Saudi Arabia and OPEC to bring down the cost of oil, while expressing surprise that OPEC had not brought down the price of oil before the elections. Trump talked to Saudi Arabian Crown Prince in his first call with the foreign leader since taking office on Monday. They spoke about the kingdom's international economic ambitions as well as trade and other opportunities. Trump also said he wants the Federal Reserve to cut interest rates at a time the central bank has hit pause for an uncertain duration, arguing that he understands monetary policy better than those charged with setting it. Trump's remarks come 5 days before the Fed's first policy meeting to be held during his administration on January 28th and 29th, with very broad expectations officials will leave rates unchanged. The Fed had last cut its overnight interest rate target by a 0.25 percentage point at its December policy meeting between 4.25% and 4.5%. Meanwhile, oil prices turned negative as Trump spoke. The euro slightly rose while the US dollar swung between gains and losses against a basket of foreign currencies. US crude oil fell 1.13% while global benchmark Brent dropped 0.92%. Oil was higher during the day's session before President Trump began speaking. While European shares closed higher on Thursday, while declines in heavyweight technology stocks tempered gains. The pan-European stocks climbed 0.4%, marking its seventh consecutive day of gains, its longest winning streak in over a month. The benchmark had hit an all-time intraday high on Wednesday. Benchmark S&P 500 too rose to a record closing high on Thursday. Investors have been concerned that tariffs could add to inflation pressures and slow the Fed's pace of interest rate cuts. The S&P 500 gained 0.53%, while the Nasdaq Composite gained 0.22%. The Dow Jones Industrial Average rose 0.92%. Shifting focus to another controversial topic making news from the US, a federal judge blocked Donald Trump's administration on Thursday from implementing the executive order curtailing the right to automatic birthright citizenship in the US. A US district judge issued temporary restraining order at the urging of four Democratic-led states, Washington, Arizona, Illinois and Oregon, preventing the administration from enforcing the order. The judge says the order, which was slated to take effect in February, was blatantly unconstitutional. The ruling imposes a 14-day halt on enforcing the orders, while the judge considers whether to issue a long-lasting preliminary injunction. The judge will hear arguments over whether to do so on February 6th. The case is one of the 5 lawsuits being brought by 22 states and a number of immigrants' rights groups across the country. Meanwhile, US President Donald Trump said his administration will appeal the decision to temporarily block the executive order restricting birthright citizenship. Trump had signed the order on Monday, his first day back in office.
Mr. President, a U.S. judge temporarily blocks the birthright citizenship order. Do you have any reaction?
No, obviously we'll appeal it. They put it before a certain judge in Seattle, I guess, right? And there's no surprises with that judge.
Meanwhile, President Trump reiterated his stand on NATO spending on Thursday, saying the U.S. was protecting NATO members, but they were not protecting them. Trump repeated demands that other members of the transatlantic alliance spend 5% of their GDP on defense, a huge increase from the current 2% goal and a level that no NATO country, including the U.S. states, in fact, the United States currently reaches. Officials from NATO countries and analysts say that NATO will not heed Trump's proposal for such a massive hike in defense spending, but will likely agree to go beyond its current target. Trump's new Secretary of State, Marco Rubio, spoke to NATO Secretary General Mark Rutte on Wednesday and reinforced the U.S. commitment to the alliance, while the two also discussed the importance of having capable defense allies and real burden sharing. U.S. President Donald Trump signed an order to declassify government files related to the assassination of former President John F. Kennedy, Senator Robert Kennedy, and civil rights leader Martin Luther King Jr. on Thursday. Trump had promised on the campaign trail to release classified intelligence and law enforcement files concerning the assassination of President Kennedy, or JFK as he was fondly known. He had made a similar commitment during his first term and, in fact, released some documents related to JFK's 1963 murder. The assassination of JFK in particular continues to captivate the American public. While Lee Harvey Oswald was officially named as the lone gunman, the Justice Department and other federal agencies have upheld that conclusion over the years. However, public opinion polls consistently show that Americans believe his death was part of a larger conspiracy. U.S. Vice President J.D. Vance swears in John Ratcliffe after the Senate confirmed him as the director of the CIA, filling a key post in President Donald Trump's national security team. The upper house of the U.S. legislature voted 74-25 to approve Ratcliffe, who served as the director of national intelligence from 2020 to 2021 during Trump's first term in office. Ratcliffe was sworn into office shortly after winning Senate confirmation. Ratcliffe is a former House of Representatives member who served as Director of National Intelligence during Trump's first term. The Republican-led Senate has been working to confirm Trump's nominees for top positions in his administration as quickly as possible, starting with his national security team. You're watching DD India Newshour. We're heading for a short break, but after the break, backed by Parliament, Michael Martin consecutively elected Irish Prime Minister for the second time. With Super Hercules fueling the fire, firefighters battle huge blaze near Los Angeles. And stay with us for a quick look at the nominations for the 97th Academy Awards. Welcome back. After the break, you're watching DD India Newshour. Saudi Arabia's foreign minister visited Lebanon on Thursday in the first trip to Beirut by Riyadh's top diplomat in 15 years. Prince Faisal bin Farhan Al Saud met with Lebanese officials, including Lebanese Prime Minister-designate Nawaf Salam, caretaker Prime Minister Najib Mikati and Parliament Speaker Nabi Berri. He also met with Lebanon's new President Joseph Aoun. The visit by Prince Faisal bin Farhan Al Saud reflects political shifts in Lebanon since Hezbollah's Syrian ally Bashar al-Assad was toppled by rebels in December. Prince Faisal bin Farhan stressed on the importance of reforms in his meeting with Aoun, voicing Saudi Arabia's optimism about the country's future, and said Saudi Arabia will continue supporting Lebanon. Syria's de facto leader, Ahmed al-Shara, has said that his country is ready to welcome UN forces into the UN-established buffer zone with Israel. During an interview to a Turkish channel, al-Shara also mentioned that Syria has communicated to the United Nations its adherence to the 1974 agreement and readiness to receive UN forces in the buffer zone, offer protection and also facilitate their positioning.
Regarding Israel's advance, Israel was looking to advance into Syria because of the presence of Iranian militia and Hezbollah. After the liberation of Syria, I believe that this pretext has been withdrawn from the Israelis and there is no longer any need for an advance into Syrian land. I believe that Syria today has just come out of an exhausting war and there are many diplomatic means, and we have spoken a lot of countries on the issue. We have sent a letter to the United Nations where we mentioned we are committed to the 1974 agreement and are ready to receive the United Nations forces to be in the buffer zone between us and Israel.
Michael Martin was elected Irish Prime Minister for the second time by a coalition of the country's two large centre-right parties and independent lawmakers on Thursday. The coalition is the second in a row between rivals Fine Gael and Fianna Fáil, with independents replacing junior coalition partner, the Green Party, which lost most of its seats. The initially scheduled vote to elect Martin on January 22nd descended into chaos when the parliament was suspended 4 times after opposition protests. An agreement by both sides that government supporting independents cannot, for now, retain extended speaking rights from the opposition benches paved the way for Martin to be elected. In Venezuela's Caracas, ruling party supporters marched to commemorate the 67th anniversary of the fall of Marcos Pérez Jiménez's dictatorship and to show their backing for recently inaugurated President Nicolás Maduro. Waving Venezuelan flags showing rejection of opposition leader Maria Corina Machado, hundreds marched from the west of the capital to the Miraflores Palace to meet with Maduro. The demonstrations come as Venezuela's National Bolivarian Armed Forces conduct a second day of military and police exercises dubbed as Bolivarian Shield. The drills and the pro-government demonstration came less than 2 weeks after the controversial inauguration of Nicolás Maduro's third term. In Mexico, protesters stormed the government palace in Kulazin and pressed the authorities to address escalating regional violence. The protesters broke into the building and displayed photographs of the victims in the city hall's central courtyard. The violence in Sinaloa has intensified in recent months, fueled by a power struggle between rival factions of the Sinaloa's cartel. The conflict erupted following the high-profile arrest of legendary trafficker Ismael El Mayo Zambada on the U.S. soil on July 25th. In Nigeria, at least 20 fishermen have been killed in northeastern state of Borno after Boko Haram insurgents attacked their village. The insurgents stormed the fishing community of Gadangari on Wednesday and opened fire at fishermen working in the area. Nigeria has been grappling with a 16-year-long insurgency in its northeast, driven primarily by Boko Haram and its offshoot ISWAP that has led to huge human and economic losses, including mass displacement and a humanitarian crisis. A statue in Sydney of British explorer James Cook, captain of the first Western ship to reach the east coast of Australia, was sprayed with red paint and damaged 2 days before Australia's National Day. It was the second time the statue has been defaced and vandalised in the last year. Police said that they had begun an investigation and that several items had been found near the statue. The Australia Day holiday is known as Invasion Day, symbolising the destruction of their culture by European settlers. Powerful winds and bone-dry conditions could pose a challenge to firefighters battling new wildfires in Southern California on Thursday, including a blaze that swelled over the past day and forced tens of thousands of evacuations in north of Los Angeles. The 4,000 firefighters battling the blaze have achieved 14% containment, measure of the percentage of a fire's perimeter brought under control. The nominations for the 97th Academy Awards were announced on Friday at the Academy's Samuel Goldwyn Theatre in Beverly Hills, California. Actor, writer, comedians Rachel Sennott and Bowen Yang were announced the nominations in all. In fact, they announced the nominations in all the 23 Academy Award categories in a live presentation. The strong contenders include movies like The Brutalist, Conclave, The Apprentice, Emilia Perez, The Substance, and Wicked. Emilia Perez leads the field of nominations this year with 13 in total. Following close behind with 10 each are Brutalist and Wicked, while A Complete Unknown and Conclave scored 8 each.
For achievement in cinematography, the nominees are...
Hindi language short film Anuja has bagged a nomination in the Best Live Action Short Film category at the 97th Academy Awards. The movie follows 9-year-old Anuja, a gifted girl working in a garment factory in Delhi. Film producer Guneet Monga has said that her film's nomination is a testament to how a story made with all heart can transcend all borders, sparking meaningful conversations about education, child labour rights and the dream of young children everywhere. The film is written and directed by Adam J. Graves. A quick look at other stories making it to the headlines from across the world. Wind Racers, a low-cost logistics champion, unveiled its next generation of self-flying cargo aircraft. Wind Racers Ultra Mk2 in central London. The self-flying cargo drone can stay in flight for up to 9 hours and can operate day or night. It is set to be put to work delivering humanitarian aid, enabling organizations to transport meaningful payloads to hard-to-reach places quickly, safely and cost-effectively. Italian pilot Dario Costa has pushed himself to the limit once again after completing a daring flight down the slopes of Street Ski Run in Austria. Costa reached a top speed of 350 kilometers per hour in his plane as he navigated down one of the most challenging downhill skiing courses in the world. Rans is one of the most successful ski racers in the history of US skiing, having won 12 World Cup races in his career. At Paris Fashion Week, Japanese designer Yoshi captivated the audience with a serene, thoughtful approach to fashion as he unveiled his fall-winter 2025-26 ready-to-wear collection. Known for his avant-garde and often minimalistic aesthetic, the designer embraced a slower, more introspective rhythm in his latest offering, setting a distinct tone amidst the usual fast-paced glamour of Parisian runway shows. Adorable animals at the Shanghai Wild Animal Park enjoyed feasts prepared by caretakers to mark the Little New Year, inviting a cheerful atmosphere at the zoo ahead of the Spring Festival. Visitors at the zoo eagerly gathered around enclosures as resident animals received their celebration meals. For the beloved pandas, keepers prepared a feast of fruits and made steamed buns. The Indian People Forum's Business and Professional Council hosted the Innovator and Investor Summit at Dubai. The event spotlighted 3 startups, Zero Hero, PlusX Electric and Om Venture Capitals, whose innovations celebrate India's emerging role as a global hub for innovation and entrepreneurship. Sridhar S. Iyengar, CFO of Mubadala, the UAE Sovereign Wealth Fund, highlighted the theme of the event, that is from startup to scale up, which perfectly encapsulates the journey of every entrepreneurship.
From each of those startups, in fact, we have seen how they have scaled up, how they have become successful examples, basically, or how they are aspiring to be successful examples. So, for me, it's a celebration. Any entrepreneurship or a journey of professionalism is a celebration.
The IMC Chamber of Commerce and Industry conducted an international roadshow in Dubai on Thursday, previewing the upcoming Bharat Calling Conference scheduled for February 27, 2025 at Mumbai's Geo World Convention Centre. Sanjay Mariwala, president of IMC Chamber of Commerce, stated that the event aims to help India gain access to global technologies to bring investments into India and more.
This is the 25th edition of this conference. It's a silver anniversary for us, and we are expecting this conference to be a very important milestone event in the history of IMC. And this conference is supposed to give us access to technologies, bring investment into India, take India's investment international, and take help from the various trade agreements we have across the world to make this effective.
Agricultural powerhouse Argentina will temporarily lower taxes on its grain exports, citing the improving health of the nation's economy. The country's powerful agriculture groups have been pressurizing for tax relief for the sector. According to the economy minister, Luis Caputo, export taxes on soybeans and sub-products, among others, will be lowered as of Monday and through June. Argentina is the world's top exporter of processed soy oil and meal, the number 3 for corn, and a major producer of wheat and barley. Its crops have been hit by a lack of rain since late December. Libertarian President Javier Milei's government will also permanently get rid of tax exports on so-called regional economies. You're watching DD India Newshour. We're heading for a short break, but after the break, all preparations in place for 76th Republic Day. Stay with us for a sneak peek. We tell you ahead why Lord Hanuman Temple is an example of incredible India at the Maha Kumbh in Prayagraj. Manali turns into a winter wonderland, enthralling tourists and locals alike.
Complex issues, hidden agendas, twists and turns, strategic games. We think all dots are linked. We just need to connect them. Join me every week as I connect the dots to unravel hidden designs in statecraft, mysteries, and decode issues that matter to you. Watch Connecting the Dots with me at these times on DD India.
Welcome back after the break. You're watching DD India Newshour. A quick relook at the top stories now. US President Donald Trump invites investors to make products in America, addresses World Economic Forum, says new businesses will have lowest tax regime in the US. U.S. federal court temporarily blocks presidential order restricting birthright citizenship. Trump says he will appeal the ruling. U.S. Secretary of State Marco Rubio assures U.S. commitment to NATO in a call with its chief Mark Rutte. He also discusses the importance of ending Russia-Ukraine conflict. Indonesian President Prabowo Subianto arrives in New Delhi on his first state visit to India to grace the Republic Day celebrations as the chief guest. And in sports, world number 7 Novak Djokovic to take on Alexander Zverev in Australia Open semi-finals. Sinner to face America's Ben Shelton in other semi-final. Indonesian President Prabowo Subianto arrived in New Delhi on his first state visit to India. President Prabowo will be the chief guest for India's 76th Republic Day celebrations this year. During his visit, President Subianto will hold bilateral talks with India's Prime Minister Narendra Modi on Saturday. He will also meet President of India Draupadi Murmu. External Affairs Minister Dr. S. Jaishankar will also call on the visiting president on Friday. This is President Prabowo's first visit to India in his capacity as the president after assuming office in October 2024. The state visit of President Prabowo will provide an opportunity for the leaders to undertake a comprehensive review of bilateral ties as well as to discuss regional and global issues of mutual interest. Indian Army is fully geared to showcase its strength during the 76th Republic Day on the Kartavya Path on 26th of January of this month. Battlefield surveillance system and DRDO depiction of the Pralay weapon system will be the major attraction of the parade this year. During the parade, the Bhishma T-90 tank, Nag missile system, Bajrang light specialist vehicle, Nandighosh quick reaction force vehicle, BrahMos, Agniban, Pinaka and Akash weapon system will showcase the country's military plight and might. Besides the marching contingent of the armed forces, Central Armed Police Force and NCC marching contingent will also participate in the parade. This year, Indonesian contingent and band will participate in this year's Republic Day parade as the country's chief guest. Also, 352 Indonesian army soldiers will participate in the parade this year. A total of 26 tableaux from various states, including territories and union ministries, are set to present the diversity of the country and cultural inclusiveness during the 76th Republic Day parade on 26th of this month. Tableaux are based on the theme of Swarnim Bharat, Virasat or Vikas. Meanwhile, this year in the Republic Day parade, all the weapon systems and platforms on display on the Kartavya Path will be indigenously themed on Make in India program of the Modi government. Our correspondent Nandita Dagar gets us more.
Marching contingents are from 6 regiments: the Brigade of the Guards, the Mahad Regiment, the Jammu and Kashmir Rifles, the Garhwal Rifles, the Corps of Signals, and the Jat Regiment. And other than that, the mechanized columns that you will witness, the tanks, the infantry combat vehicles, they're all being built in the country. What you will witness I was talking about are the infantry specialized mobility vehicles, which is entirely designed and produced in the country. So that is the Atmanirbhar part of it.
What is happening for the first time? What is being fielded for the first time? And what is the USP of this year's contingent? For
the first time, what you will see is the battlefield surveillance system. You will also see the depiction by DRDO of the Pralay SRBM. Other than that, what you will definitely witness is a much sharper parade.
Leaner.
Much sharper parade. Leaner, the strength has been what was last time. So a much sharper parade, which will be better drilled and better coordinated.
First time ever that we have got a tri-service tableau being presented on the Republic Day at Kartavya Path. Okay, the special thing about this tableau is that it exemplifies the spirit of headquarter ideas, that is jointness and integration, which has been mandated to us by the government of India. And this tableau symbolizes the same.
From last 1 year, we have been practicing with the entire team. We are a team of 136 daredevils, in which we have 2 officers, 1 JSO and 133 other ranks. So from last 1 year, we have been preparing in this one signal training center, Jabalpur, with our training center. In the ground, we used to practice for mornings 3 to 4 hours and evening 3 to 4 hours again.
And this apart from your duties, your primary duties?
Apart from our core duties of the office.
Nandita Jagar also caught up with the members of the Indonesian marching contingent who will be part of the 76th Republic Day Parade.
The President of Indonesia, Mr. Prabowo Subianto, is the chief guest on the 76th Republic Day. And he, along with our President of India, President Draupadi Murmu, will be witnessing and taking the salute of our marching contingents. Now this year, the Indonesian marching contingent is also a part of the Republic Day Parade, where 352 members of the Indonesian Army are taking part. Let's talk to them. What are the feelings that are coming to your heart, and you must be very proud?
Yeah, I'm feeling proud, I'm feeling happy, I'm feeling it's an honor for me, and yeah, because we are the history.
What are the feelings that are coming to your heart and mind when you are coming to India, a foreign country where your own president will be the chief guest? I'm sure it's a matter of great pride and honor for you.
Well, I'm feeling really honored because it's really a big chance for us to enhance the cooperation between India and Indonesia. So I hope that tomorrow, when the exact day, it will be very good, very great.
How long have you been rehearsing to march down? When did you come to India?
So I am part of the marching band. I am from the music band. I am playing the tenor drums. That's why my name is the tenor. Right?
Tenor drums. What are they?
Tenor drums are percussive instruments that are used to lead the steps in the marching.
You're also part of the band.
Yes,
musical
I'm part
band.
of the band. And as for preparation-wise, we have already prepared for this event ever since this early December of last year.
Okay.
And we trained in Jakarta, Indonesia from the early December until January of 2025.
All right, now we get to all the latest from the Maha Kumbh, the largest gathering of humans on the planet. The ongoing Maha Kumbh has witnessed an unprecedented turnout of devotees, with over 10 crore people taking a holy dip at the sacred confluence of Ganga, Yamuna and the mythical Saraswati since January 11th. The historic milestone was achieved by noon on Thursday, reflecting the immense faith and devotion of sadhus, kalpvasis and pilgrims from around the world. The state government estimates that this Maha Kumbh will host over 45 crore visitors, and the early achievement of 10 crore bathers reaffirms this projection. Meanwhile, with Mauni Amavasya, the biggest bathing day of Maha Kumbh Mela, approaching on January 29th, the authorities have taken initiatives to prevent any security issue or stampede-like situation. Deepika Mathur joins us from Prayagraj. Deepika, we've told our viewers how 10 crore people have already taken the holy dip. You're there in Prayagraj. Tell us, how is the Maha Kumbh progressing?
Good morning, Preeti. We are right now at one of the beautiful ghats of Prayagraj, and the historic milestone of 10 crore people has already been achieved. 10 crore pilgrims, 10 crore devotees have already taken the holy dip, and they are continuously coming in to take the holy dip, and the arrangements have been also accordingly put in across all the ghats here in Prayagraj in the 76th district of Uttar Pradesh, which is Kumbh. I would now request my camera person to quickly pan and show you the beautiful visuals of the ghats, how equipped, how well mannered they are, and you can see the small the dustbins which have been put in every 50-meter distance across the ghats. And this is just a visual of one ghat, but all the ghats are similarly equipped. You can see that people are also doing and taking the bath in a very proper way. They are following the social distancing norm also. And apart from that, you can see the security arrangements, because there is a divide in the river itself which has been marked by the blue line. The divide has been put in place so that the deeper water side can be avoided. And in case of any mishaps, there are boats also which are put in place across the rivers so that security arrangements can be ensured and people can be saved, and lifeguards are also there. And apart from that, when we talk about the cleanliness, because that is also one of the mission under the Namami Gange mission, there are Seva Doots who are present here at every ghat. There are interestingly female Seva Doots which are larger in number here across all the ghats, who are ensuring that people should not loiter around these ghats, and ghats should remain clean. And you can see Snan, Dhyan and Dan all are taking place. Snan, the holy bath; Dhyan, the puja, the rituals which are taking place. You can see the people who take the holy bath, they then offer water to Lord Sun. This is how Dhyan is performed. And then Dan, which is charity, which is continuously a very important pillar of this entire Maha Kumbh, can be witnessed very beautifully in those visuals which you are seeing right now, and especially all across the Maha Kumbh area, Preeti.
All right, you told us about the preparations, but Deepika, the Mauni Amavasya bathing ritual will take place on January 29th. How are the authorities there gearing up? Because we tell our viewers special arrangements are being made to ensure the day is hassle-free for the devotees, for the faithful there. Get us more. Have any special arrangements been made?
Preeti, I would once again request my camera person to pan towards the right and show you that bridge that you can see. That is the pontoon bridge that you can see there in the visuals. Now, similarly, this has been set up a month ago, a month prior to Maha Kumbh. And like this bridge, 29 more bridges have been set up all across Prayagraj, all across Kumbh, so that a smooth transition of the passengers, a smooth transition of the devotees can be ensured. Now, this is one of the arrangements that has been majorly put up by the UP government all across the Prayagraj sector, and apart from that, 29 sectors have been divided by the UP government so that they can be monitored easily and they can be identified, they can be pinpointed easily. Apart from these pontoon bridges, there are security arrangements which are being strengthened up not only for the main bathing days but throughout the Maha Kumbh area, because we are witnessing lakhs of people who are taking the holy dip every day, and the force is being increased for the Mauni Amavasya, the greatest snan of this entire Maha Kumbh 45-day long period, which falls on the 29th of the January, which is the Mauni Amavasya, which is the biggest snan, the biggest bath which will be taking place, because the rare planetary alignment of 144 years would be taking place and would be at its peak. It has already started, but at that time it would be at its peak. And when we come back to the security arrangements, you can see that there are so many changing rooms, so many dustbins put across the area, so many security officials are there, ambulances have been put in place, and ambulances are not just hovering around the land area, but ambulances and security officers have been put inside the sea as well. They have been installed, their offices have been installed in the middle of the sea as well. And apart from that, there are air security ATRs, air security ambulances, which are continuously on the move throughout this Maha Kumbh, making it even more special, secure, safe for each and every devotee who's coming from all across the world here at Prayagraj, Preeti.
All right, Deepika, so elaborate arrangements have been put in place. Thank you so much for joining in with those details. And Prayagraj is not only famous for the Maha Kumbh this year, but it has a special place associated with the divine shrine of Lord Hanuman. The temple is yet another example of incredible India, which draws pilgrims from all across the world. DD India's Deepika gets us more in this report.
Is not only home to incredible Maha Kumbh, but also has a rich devotional value attached to it. The city is home to the famous temple Bade Hanumanji, also called the Lete Hanuman Mandir. The beautiful temple in the heart of Prayagraj is an underground pit which houses an enormous image of Lord Hanuman. This is the only Lord Hanuman temple in the world. The idol is in reclining position.
Hanuman ji is revered by all the devotees. He has his divine power everywhere. Ma Ganga comes to meet Hanuman ji every monsoon. This is an incredible sight which is witnessed by all the people who come here from across the world.
Another interesting thing to know about this popular Hindu temple in Prayagraj is that one side of Lord Hanuman's statue gets half immersed in water of the river Ganges annually during the monsoon season when the water level rises. It is believed that the water of the river rises to touch the feet of the deity. During this time, a lot of devotees come to visit the sacred site from the country and also the world and to witness the incredibilities of India.
So there you saw the beauty of incredible India, from the Triveni Sangam to the Bade Hanumanji temple that has a mythological value, history associated to it and the power of faith and devotion. With camera person Shiv Suman, this is Deepika reporting for DD India from Prayagraj Kumbh.
Up next, we're heading for a short break. You're watching DD India Newshour. But after the break, Team India beat Sri Lanka by 60 runs in the Women's Under-19 T20 World Cup. We also get you an update on the ongoing Khelo India Winter Games underway in Leh.
Geopolitics and trade deals. Economic challenges amid development. Hard work and the path to prosperity. It's the economy always. Between walkers, money is what money does and says. Supply creates its own demand. Between the bulls pulls and bears tears. When supply chains globalization and India rises to the podium. We'll get you centered with the economic brief at 8 p.m. every Thursday on DD India.
Welcome back after the break. You're watching DD India Newshour. Let's get you updates from the world of sports now. We'll talk of tennis first. 7th Novak Djokovic will face Germany's Alexander Zverev in the first semi-final of Australia Open on Friday. Djokovic is looking to win his 11th title at Melbourne Park and also go past the legendary Margaret Court for most singles titles. Zverev, on the other hand, is aiming for his maiden Grand Slam title. Djokovic also advanced to his 50th semi-final at a major and is looking to win his 100th match at the Australian Open. In the second semi-final, world number 1 and defending champion Yannick Sinner will lock horns with America's Ben Shelton on Friday afternoon. Sinner is chasing his third straight Grand Slam final on hard courts and a potential third major title. Sinner defeated Alex de Minaur in the quarterfinals with a dominant performance, winning 6-3, 6-2, 6-1 in his quickest match so far in the tournament. Defending champion Aryna Sabalenka is set to face Madison Keys in the final of the Australian Open on Saturday. World number 1 Aryna Sabalenka eased past Paula Badoza to reach a third successive Australian Open on Thursday. Sabalenka is just one victory away from becoming the first person to win 3 consecutive Australian Open titles. On the other hand, Madison Keys powered through a thrilling semi-final on a final set tie-break against Iga Swiatek. The 19th seed fought back from a set down to shock the world number 2 and reach her first Australian Open final. Team India defeated Sri Lanka in a top-of-the-table clash in the Women's Under-19 T20 World Cup on Thursday. India completed their perfect group stage campaign with a resounding 60-run win over Sri Lanka in Kuala Lumpur. Gongadi Trisha's 44-ball 49 helped India put 118 for 9 on board before their bowlers restricted Sri Lanka to 58 for 9. Meanwhile, West Indies secured their spot in the Super 6 stage of the tournament by knocking out the hosts Malaysia. Today is day 2 of Khelo India Winter Games 2025 and skating events will take centre stage at the Gupuk Lake while ice hockey events will continue at the LSRC ground and ND Stadium in Leh. UT Ladakh team was the highlight of day 1 as they outsmarted Rajasthan team 20-0 in the first round of the ice hockey event. Earlier, Khelo India Winter Games 2025 got off to a rousing start at the iconic ND Stadium on Thursday. The 5,000 capacity NDS Stadium showcased the spirit and romanticism of adventure sports on a freezing day as Prime Minister Narendra Modi congratulated Ladakh and Jammu and Kashmir for organizing the first major sports meet of the national calendar and demonstrating the world why they are hotspots for winter sports. Our correspondent Abhishek Mahajan joins us from Leh. Abhishek, good morning to you. It is day 2 at the games today. Get us more. What do we look forward to?
Good morning, Preeti. Yes, Khelo India Games, Winter Games day 2 today, and it was quite outstanding yesterday also. I mean, it started off with a bang, very good opening ceremony, and it was quite cold, minus 13-14 degrees at the ND Stadium itself, where the opening ceremony was taking place, and it was quite surprising. A lot of people were there. They were sitting in open, and they were cheering for the athletes and also for the cultural performances also. And that's the culture, Preeti. We were talking to the athletes also yesterday that slowly and steadily Ladakh is turning out to be a hub for winter sports, and Gulmarg, Kashmir also, where the second leg of Khelo India Winter Games will take place. And yes, skating events will take center stage today. Skating events will start today at the Gupok Lake, and mind you, Gupok Lake is the frozen lake. It is a lake in summers, and it turns out to be a venue for the games, for the skating games in the winter. So it will be quite chilly out there. But yes, skating events will take place there, and quite looking forward to those games. And yes, UT Ladakh started off with a bang yesterday. They defeated 20-0 Rajasthan in the ice hockey game, and there were quite a few players who were part of the Indian team also. So I mean, crowd was cheering for them, for the Indian players, and when we spoke to them, they said that they want to take ice hockey forward. How many people know that it is not, ice hockey is not played with the ball, it is played with a puck, and it has a long stick also. But yes, I mean, the participation has also been increasing in ice hockey in winter sports, and it will increase in the coming years. 5th edition of Khelo India Winter Games. But yes, 2 games are taking place there, and we are expected to see more and more participation in the coming years.
All right, Abhishek, we leave it here. Thank you so much for joining in with those details. And India's 18-year-old chess sensation and world champion D. Gukesh has been making waves on the global stage. This time, all eyes are on him as he competes in fact in the prestigious Tata Steel Chess Tournament in the Netherlands, often referred to as the Wimbledon of chess. Here's a closer look.
It was a little more than 1 month ago that Indian chess grandmaster D. Gukesh became the youngest world champion ever. In Singapore, he defeated the former champion Ding Liren from China. Now, almost 6 weeks later, Gukesh is back in the game, contending in yet another important tournament, the Tata Steel Chess Tournament, held until Sunday the 2nd of February in Wijk aan Zee in the Netherlands. It is the 87th edition of this prestigious tournament, also known as the Wimbledon of chess, with former champions like Anatoly Karpov, Garry Kasparov, Magnus Carlsen and Viswanathan Anand. How does it feel for Gukesh to play again for the first time, almost 6 weeks after he became world champion?
Yeah, it was really good to get back to chess. The last few days or few weeks I had a lot of things to do back home, so it was really good to come here and just focus on chess.
Gukesh arrived in the Netherlands just hours before his first tournament game and just days after he was personally congratulated with his World Championship title by Prime Minister Modi.
Yeah, first of all, I'm very grateful for the Khel Ratna award. It was, I mean, for any Indian athlete, it's a dream come true. So it was really nice, and yeah, I just landed in Amsterdam like 9 a.m. and I had to play the round at 2 p.m. So it was, yeah, it was a new experience, but okay, it went well.
Although the weather in the Netherlands is very different than in his hometown of Chennai, is he looking forward to the rest of the tournament, and what would it mean to him to win this tournament?
Coming from Chennai, it's like a struggle to be in minus degrees, but okay, I'm used to this, so yeah, looking forward to the next games.
After the 2nd of February, we will know if the new world champion will also be the winner of this legendary Tata Steel Chess Tournament. Mark Limburg reporting for DD India in Wijk aan Zee, the Netherlands.
The Manali district in Himachal Pradesh recently witnessed a breathtaking sight as heavy snowfall blanketed the entire area. The mountain peaks were all covered in a thick layer of snow, turning the landscape into a winter wonderland. The snowfall added to the charm of the already popular hill station, offering a serene and enchanting atmosphere that captivated the hearts of all who visited. With that, we end this edition of DD India Newshour. Bharat, let us know your thoughts on the news of the day. For those of you on the go, you can get all the latest news and updates from India and across the world on the DD India mobile app. This app is available on both Android and iOS platforms, and you can download the respective QR codes. We'll be back with more news as it breaks here on DD India. I'm Preeti Kaur signing off, and from all of us in Delhi, thanks for watching DD India Newshour.